Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at the Soulflay Claymore. The Soulflay Claymore is, well, it is what it is. It's a relatively low-level item at level 19, and it does have some rather interesting effects. So as we go over it, I guess we'll talk about those. I also have the ethereal version, and of course we're going to upgrade it, as always, because I always like to see how good they could potentially be if you wanted to put a little extra effort in there. The Soulflay Claymore is 10 to 24 one-handed damage. It is 26 to 60 two-handed damage. And as you can see, it has kind of a sexy appearance. I actually forgot to show off the champion sword last time. So you know what, let's the Black Tongue. Let's show off Black Tongue too. Black Tongue also has a rather sexy appearance. And it's kind of interesting because they both have the same kind of color. It's almost like a blue sort of, like, I'm not really sure how to put it. Almost looks like blue glass. They both kind of have the same blue glass sort of color. Of course, the bastard sword, or the Black Tongue, definitely has a much thicker blade to show that off, whereas the Soulflay is a much thinner blade, so you don't really quite have the same, like, gutzpah to show it off. You know what I mean? And the Soulflay does have a low strength requirement of only 47 at level 19. Most characters at level 19 should have 47 strength, and even including sorceresses and like necromancers and stuff, who usually have at least 47 strength to put on equipment. We also have a fast attack speed on this sword, but that's due to the fact that it has an increased attack speed on it. I do believe this sword is actually a 0 base, or it might even be a little bit slower than that. I'm not sure. But with the 10%, it does end up being a fast attack speed weapon. We also have 100% enhanced damage on this, but it does vary by a very high 30% for a low-level item. It's kind of weird when it comes to low-level items. Like 30% wouldn't be a really big variation for like an elite item. But for a low-level item like this, it's a pretty big variation. So we go from 70 to 100%. We also have a 10% mana steal on this, but it does vary from 4 to 10%, which is kind of weird. I don't know why the mana steal varies on this particular item, especially since its usefulness is kind of limited to normal difficulty as well. Like, it's not like people are going to be using this in elite tier, like, oh my god, 10% mana steal, I've been using that on my Hell Barbarian at level 99, boys. No, they don't say that. I don't think anyone says that. We also have 4% lifesteal, which is static, and then we have all resistances 5, which is just kind of like a pathetic amount of all resistances. I mean, in normal difficulty, all resistance 5 can certainly get you a little bit of defensiveness, but as soon as you get into Nightmare, all resistances 5 is just a slap in the face. We also have the ethereal version, which is 14 to 36 damage, 38 to 90 two-handed, and 37 strength requirement. Now, of course, you can upgrade these to their exceptional and elite versions, and to do that, you're going to need Ral and Soul runes, and you're also going to need perfect emeralds, perfect gemeralds. This is going to get you to 1 tier up, and honestly, the 1 tier up might actually be halfway decent. I'm looking at the item, and as I'm looking at the item, what I'm seeing is an item that could potentially upgrade well to tier 2. And it does seem like I am missing a soul rune, unless I'm just blind. But I do need to restock anyway, so I'll be right. Oh, no, there we go. Never mind. I found it. I'm an idiot. Alright, so we're going to upgrade this Soulflay Claymore to its exceptional tier. And we're going to need our Rally, our Soli, and our perfect emerald. I always say diamond because I'm upgrading the armors. That's one of the reasons why you should probably keep all your diamonds and emeralds, because they are used for upgrades like this, and these upgrades can be super, 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 super great. So we go from 10 to 24 one-handed damage, 26 to 60 two-handed damage, 47 strength, level 19, to 26 to 60 one-handed damage, 52 to 122 two-handed damage, 20 dex, 91 strength on level 30. I'm going to be honest with you, that's actually a pretty decent upgrade. Level 30 is not too high. Obviously, at level 19, that's 11 level increase. The dex and the strength requirement did go up quite a bit from, the 47 to 91 and then 20 dex, but most characters have 20 dex, so that's not really something you've got to worry about. And 91 strength isn't too bad for any character that would actually want to use this, because they're probably using some pretty hefty armor anyway. So a halfway decent upgrade to tier 2. I would definitely see that as a positive. The ethereal item can also be upgraded from 14 to 36, 38 to 90, 37 strength, and level 19 to 38 to 90, 78 to 182 damage, 200, and 10 dex, 81 strength, level 30. Not a bad little upgrade there from tier 1 to tier 2. The ethereal version could be pretty useful on an Act 5 Barb Merc. The Mana Steel obviously doesn't really matter for him, but the Life Steal would definitely be good, and the all resistances as well as the decent amount of damage. Could be an interesting low-level Act 5 Barb Merc choice. Around level 30 is actually when you get the Act 5 Barb Merc, so he should probably be about level 30 by the time you get him anyway. So you just upgrade it, slap it on him. We can, of course, upgrade this a second time to the elite tier, and I can already tell you that it's not going to be a good upgrade to the elite tier, but I like to do this anyway for science, just so that you guys can see that it's going to be a bad upgrade, and also so that you don't do it yourself, because, well, it would be a pathetic waste of a Pull, a Lumrune, and a perfect Emerald. So we're going to go from 26 to 60 one-handed damage, 52 to 122 two-handed damage, 20 dex, 91 strength, level 30, to 44 to 124 one-handed damage. That's really bad. 134 to 192 two-handed. That's really bad. 104 strength, 104 dex, and 171 strength requirement. Wow, those requirements are high. And level 61. The ethereal version can also be upgraded from 38 to 90 one-handed, 78 to 182 two-handed, 10 dex, 81 strength, level 30, to 66 to 186 one-handed. That's actually pretty decent, but not good for an ethereal item. Two-handed, 200 to 288. Not really that good for a two-handed item, although it has a really high bottom end. That really high bottom end is actually kind of sexy. I would probably never throw a Zod in this. The level 61 requirement doesn't really mean much, because as soon as you put a Zod rune in there, it's going to go like way the hell up. Even though Zod runes are only level 69, for some reason or another, when you Zod an item, it immediately raises the level requirements to a pretty high amount. I would pretty much assume that the Zod rune is probably going to bring this up to like level 80. 80 plus would be my guess. Really not much more to say about this. It definitely is a low-level sword that belongs in the lower levels. I would never upgrade it to tier 3. It could be a decent choice to upgrade to tier 2. Due to the high mana steal, it definitely could be utilized on perhaps a Fire Claws Druid, a Whirlwind Barbarian, just to keep your mana up, maybe as an offhand weapon. I mean, there's definitely some interesting choices for it, but it's going to get dropped and probably not utilized past like level 45. I can't really see any character using a Soulflay past level 45, which really relegates the sword to a low-level piece of equipment for low-level characters. Let's hop over to Silas Pen real quick, and we'll take a look and see where you could potentially find this sword if you wanted to get your hands on one. And, why not? Since it's a relatively low-level sword, let's do 50% magic find. And then we're also going to restrict this to normal difficulty. And the Soulflay. Where are you, little Soulflay? I need to take your soul and your mother's soul and your father's soul. Alright, let's take a look at bosses first. Sort by probability. And it looks like Mephisto in normal difficulty is the best chance at 1 in 244, with Diablo coming in second at 1 in 266. Not bad choices. Not really a lot more choices than that either. So let's take a look at super uniques. And as far as super uniques go, we definitely want something that's a lower level, somewhere where you can actually get this item, on its level where you would actually intend. At level 19, you're basically talking about the end of Act 2, maybe the middle of Act 3. So Mephisto actually seems like a halfway decent choice. But let's see what other Act 3 monsters we've got. We've got Stormtree. It's a pretty good one in Lower Kurast. That one actually would be pretty easy to farm. That's actually a pretty good choice there. He's always at the entrance to Lower Kurast, so extremely easy. Trying to see if we got any more acts. Well, we got Travancore. Travancore has a pretty good chance of dropping this, as well as the Council. So it does look like that we're looking at Stormtree, Mephisto, and the Council. So not bad choices there. And it's only 50% magic find. If you bump that up a little bit, I'm sure it would go up even more. I mean, if we were a higher level character just trying to farm this, I would imagine that like if you took a 400% magic find character and you farmed normal Diablo, I mean, look at those numbers. Mephisto and normal Diablo, 1 in 136, 1 in 149. Very, very good chances to get both of those. I mean, you wouldn't even really have to farm him that much. He probably would drop within a couple runs. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we are flaying souls and consuming them raw. We just flay them. We don't actually cook them. We just do a little bit of flaying so they're nice and seared, right? You just sear them a little bit and then you just chomp them down, just like on Soul Eater. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals flaying souls with me, and keep flaying souls with me.